What's up, everyone? Lauren here with Coach Nicole, back with Charlotte Couch Conversation. I'll get to know her a little bit today. So, what brought you to Charlotte? How did you get here?
What brought me to Charlotte? Well, I'm from Gastonia, which is like 30 minutes from here. So, I got an opportunity to come back home, and at the time my mother was sick, and it wasn't a hard decision for me to be able to come to a great program like Charlotte and to be back close to home, so I could check in on my mom and my family.
What is your favorite thing about your job?
My favorite thing by far is the relationships that I have with the players. I never necessarily wanted to be a coach growing up. I always wanted to do things that impacted young people. I ran a Boys and Girls Club at one point, and that was my way of impacting young people. So for me, I had a lot of great role models growing up, so I just try to be the example, if nothing else, for people that might not or might have had good role models, but to see that you don't have to be what the world says you have to be.
Outside of basketball, what's your favorite thing to do?
By far, my favorite thing to do is to sing. Hands down, like if I had a Whitney voice, it would be done. It would be done. That is 100% what I would do. But I don't have a Whitney, I just got a little church.
I was gonna say, you sound pretty good to me, sing better than me, so.
Hey.
Favorite song, favorite artist, and favorite song?
Favorite artist is by far Whitney Houston. I mean, it doesn't matter what, era you're in. Like Whitney is, she's timeless. So I love Whitney. I used to pretend like I would sing like her when I was little. My sister and I, we would have like our, like a brush or something like that, and we try to do our mouth like Whitney. Like it was that serious. So she will always be my favorite.
So, close game, somebody comes down, game-winning shot, buzzer beater. What's your bench celebration?
First of all, I'm sprinting to half court, hands down, kicking the heels off. I'm sprinting to half court or wherever they are, and I'm probably picking them up, and we're going to do a lap around the court. That's probably what's going to happen, because I'm probably going to be more excited than everybody else.
You ever hit one?
Plenty. Plenty in my day. Plenty.
Back in your playing days, what would you say your playing style was?
Oh, I think that's why I love Russell Westbrook, because I was so very much like him. I was definitely what I would call a relentless penetrator, and that's where I scored a lot of points. I think my senior year, I made more free throws than 2 times everybody else attempted in the nation. Like I was that person as far as getting to the rack and everything. Like, I could shoot, but I felt like I didn't need to shoot if I can get to the basket. So I like to score the ball. So however I could score the ball, that's the way I wanted to. That's what I wanted to do.
She said she was a bucket. She tells us that 5 times every day in practice. So.
I was a bucket. I told them if I don't know how to do anything else, I know how to score the ball, for sure.
Favorite place you ever been to?
Favorite place, man. I really liked Italy. Italy's probably my favorite country outside of the United States. And Venice, I didn't really too much like Venice, but I liked Rome a lot. I've been to a few other places, but I definitely would say Paris was alright. It's a little overrated, so I'm gonna go with Rome. I'm gonna go with Rome, Italy.
If you could go back and take anybody with you, anybody of your choice, who would you take?
Hands down, it would be my grandmother. Her and my aunt traveled a lot when I was younger, and I never wanted to travel. It was like nothing that I set out to do. But when I played overseas, once you get to Europe, like it's dirt cheap to travel over there. So I'm like, well, I might as well do it while I'm over here. And at that point is when I kind of got a, idea of why it's important to travel, to see how different people live, so that then you can appreciate what we have here in America, and then have a respect for everyone else and how they live. And so I would take my grandmother, because she used to tell us stuff all the time about the places she went. She would send us postcards from every place that she went, telling us a little. She's all about history, so telling us a history fact. And so I would love to be able to go and actually experience that with her.
Do you think your experience as a player has shaped who you are as a coach?
That's an excellent question.
Thank you.
That is an excellent question. One of the most influential people in my life was one of my first coaches I had at the Boys and Girls Club, and he made such an impact on my life. I still have his obituary. He passed away when I was 9 years old. I still have his obituary on my refrigerator at my house. And I think at that point, you know, I was just a not shy kid, but a kid that didn't have a lot of friends at this point. I probably like 6 or 7 years old, and he was able to put me in a situation to where I was able to be who I was. You know, I was able to, you know, any frustrations or angers I had, I was able to take it out on the court instead of taking it out on, you know, whoever else. And so he gave that to me, and so I always try to give that back to my players. You know, I always try to be, you know, one positive moment if nothing else, you know, in their day, you know, whether it's a smile, whether it's a hug, whether it's a, you know, saying something to them to make them smile, because we've got enough darkness in this world. And so my coaches definitely helped shape, you know, who I am today.
How do you feel about the season and how the team's coming along this year? What's your expectations?
Well, I'm really excited about the team. You know, for so long we've had some players that have been here, it feels like for 6 years, that you kind of knew were going to be the staple of the program. And so now with us having so many either new faces or having people playing different roles, I think it's going to be exciting to see who steps into different roles and how they, you know, how they do once they get in there. I think we're going to be fine. You know, somebody asked me, well, aren't you guys really young? I'm like, yes and no. You know, I think we've got a good balance. And so if I don't know anything else, you need to have a post player, you need to have a point guard. And I know for sure we got both of those. And we have a lot of other pieces that we'll be able to fill in around them. So I'm excited. You know, I think a lot of times when you have a young team, they don't know any better, right? So you tell them to do it, and they're going to do it. And so that makes my life a whole lot easier, you know, when you don't have to, you know, fight against anything. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what the season holds for us.
Favorite movie?
Color Purple.
Quick. Still haven't
seen it. What?
It's too long.
Low. We are watching
like bits.
No, we are watching
the whole thing. Favorite athlete?
Hands down, Michael Jordan. Hands down. Like when I was growing up, he was the man. He still is the man. But to watch him, you know, in his prime of how he was, and then for him to retire and come back, like to be able to watch that whole thing, and him playing in a tough era where, you know, people were guarding you, for real guarding you, you know, and you had to be able to, you know, get free with some of those top defenders that we had and the toughness that were, you know, through the 90s. And Michael Jordan. No Kobe.
I'm about to say I'm a Kobe fan, but you like to hate.
No Kobe.
Favorite team?
Which, like, college, you talking about NBA, NFL?
College basketball.
Charlotte 49ers.
Just making sure it's a test.
Come on,
it's a test.
Charlotte.
I thought you was going to go with UNC for a second.
No, yeah, UNC Charlotte. Go Niners, baby.
Favorite pro football team?
Easily the Carolina Panthers all day. Been riding with them since '96. I had the starter jacket.
Thanks for watching the Charlotte Couch Conversations. Hopefully you learned a little bit more about Coach today. That's it for now. See you next time. Go Niners.
Go Niners. Good job, Lo. I'm so proud.